Is it live? I'm not anxious. You're anxious. Cowboys Lions pregame, baby. Let's get ready for a dub. We actually have gigantic news heading into this game. We'll get that for you on the Cowboys DLLS pregame show. Meow. Oh boy, do we have big news for you as we get ready for Cowboys Lions at AT&T Stadium, and we will have some help doing that. Clarence Hill will be with us here in just a few minutes to join us to discuss some of the things that are going on with your Dallas Cowboys, and there's a big one. I found a fidget spinner at the house today, so don't worry about it. I'm not abnormally anxious. It's just standard.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
Not you singing it. Holy improv.
Our producer and boss and my manager, Katya, is who you heard just yell Kavanaugh.
She's so good. Kavanaugh.
Next to me is our X's and O's queen, my dear friend, Aisha Morrison. That's with two. And I do have Red Zone on right now, so I can keep you guys up to date on what's happening around the league. The Eagles are currently up 20-16 against the Browns, and they have the ball. The Browns are trying to stop them and get the ball back. And Washington and Baltimore are also still going at it. Washington is down by 10 and driving. What are you giggling about, Katya? What are you doing, Aisha?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I'm not having a hard time.
I'm not having a hard
Cleveland,
time.
we need you to do this one thing for us. The Ravens, we need you to do this one thing for
Oh,
us.
yeah. The Ravens will do it. That'll be fine. The Ravens, you're just under 3 minutes. Ravens are up by 10. Washington's still got over 30 yards to go to get to the end zone. It's a two-score game. That one's going to be okay. Cleveland doing you any favors is going to be hard because they have the worst quarterback in the history of the league, and they're stuck with him for another 2 years after this. That one's going to be a problem. But we don't care about them
We don't.
as much as we care about
Oh,
the Dallas Cowboys. In the chat, give me the final score. I got 92-4 Cowboys. And I'll make another prediction right before the show's over. But my first one is 92-4 Cowboys.
92-4, huh?
Yeah. Two safeties. Some bad blocking on the goal line.
Wow.
But outside of that, the offense will really be cruising.
We're going NBA scores.
We have gigantic news.
Yes.
And in the chat, I want to know if you like this news, if you think this is good or bad. They may not say it this way. Just because I'm dressed this way. The Cowboys have benched their first-round left tackle. Tyler Guyton is active for the game. He's suited up and ready to roll. But Tyler Smith is playing left tackle, and TJ Bass is playing left guard.
Wow.
The Cowboys are doing something a little different today.
How do you feel? Does this feel refreshing to you? Because they normally, to your point earlier, they won't do things like this most of the time.
No, because they are terrified. Like Jerry is terrified of admitting a mistake. And I think today you could probably sell it, right? I can tell you what's going to happen. If they go the whole game, nobody gets hurt, and they play with that offensive line, after the game, they'll be like, well, yeah, we felt like Tyler was healthy enough that if we had to put him in, he could play. But also he wasn't 100%. And so he was kind of there for emergency. Like that's how they'll sell it.
Yeah.
But that man, he practiced this week?
Huh?
Did he practice this week, Tyler Guyton?
Yeah.
He practiced?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so we have Clarence?
Okay. So
Okay.
let's go out there to
ask
Clarence.
Clarence.
We'll ask Clarence, and then we'll continue to kick it around on the Cowboys pregame
I would
show.
love to.
Please hit the like and subscribe. And in the chat, do you like this move or hate this move or something in between? Look at Clarence MF and Hill.
How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing? How you guys? This is crazy, Jeff. All hell broke loose when you left.
What are you talking about? What happened?
I mean, Zeke's mad because I said he was dumbfounded by his role, and Jerry lies on the radio and says that we're saving Zeke for the rest of the season. Maybe it's saving Tyler Guyton. That's what it is. It's saving Tyler Guyton. But But that's just an interesting move because he did practice all week, and they said he was fine and good to go. And I know you said you watched the tape, and Tyler Smith didn't know better than Tyler Guyton last week. Maybe he's better than the injured Tyler Guyton. Maybe he's better than the
Who said
limited
that?
Tyler Guyton.
Who
To
said?
be clear,
Who said that?
he's absolutely better than Tyler Guyton. I was just saying
Okay.
that Herbig got after him too before he got hurt. He's
Oh.
absolutely better
Okay.
than Guyton. Absolutely.
At left,
But-
at left tackle.
Yes. Even at left tackle. I think
Okay.
I think the
Okay.
bar is pretty low with the rookie. You don't have to be amazing. And
Okay.
yeah, they'll be better at left tackle today. And
Well,
you'll see what you can get from TJ Bass. If he plays passable football, then you might, this might be a good thing.
and you need to be better with Hutchinson and with this pass rush because we understand that they have to win this game on offense. I mean, let's be honest. They have no chance of slowing them down on defense. Not only it's funny because all week we talked about Deron Bland, and he's not playing. Kalen Carson's not playing. Kendricks is not playing. You're already without Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. How do you slow them down at all?
No names have to become names, Clarence.
Yeah.
That's what we got to have. No names
It's
got
called
to
a-
become
Listen,
names.
that's a pipe dream right now. I mean, seriously, they have to win this game. They have to win a shootout on offense, and I don't know if they have enough bullets offensively to keep up with the bullets that Detroit has. When you look at their weapons and a variety of weapons in the backfield at receiver and tight end, and what the Cowboys are going with, basically a known factor is CeeDee Lamb and a bunch of maybes and hope to be's in other guys, and as far as their offensive weapons, Dak has to play lights out.
Now, I know guys, people don't talk pregame. That's more of a postgame thing. But do you anticipate, or have you heard anything already, or do you anticipate after the game that what we'll hear about Guyton is, oh, he wasn't benched, he just wasn't fully healthy, and we had him for an emergency if we needed him, but he just wasn't healthy? Or do you think they'll acknowledge, yeah, we benched our first round pick?
I don't think they'll say they benched him. They want to keep his confidence high. There's no way they're going to say we benched Tyler Guyton, and he must have something going on with that injury from last week that has him not 100%. And I think the urgency of the moment, needing to be hit on all cylinders on offense, going against Aiden Hutchinson, you want to put a healthy guy out there. That's going to give you a better chance of succeeding on offense with Tyler Smith healthy than Tyler Guyton not healthy.
You see.
What's that?
And then you got on the flip side, you got on defense, you got a rookie who's going to be the green dot.
Do we? I thought the reports were that Damone Clark was going to take over.
No, the reports today is that Maris is going to be the green dot.
Okay.
There was no really report.
About
We assumed that Damone Clark was going to do it because he did it last year, but he was off-leaded last year. He's been benched this year. I don't know if they really want him running the defense.
I touched base with Maris about the possibility of him having the green dot this week, given the fact that Detroit does a lot of sprinkles and decoration before the snap and stuff, and he seemed confident. He's actually one of the players that told me that he went back into film on his own time and things like that, because the Lions, we talked about it this week, they got to answer for everything, and if you get them in a 3rd and short or a 4th and short, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna go for it. You got to be on point with them and then play your assignment.
And that's what's so crazy about this game is one thing, you're already going without your 2 best pass rushers, 2 best defensive linemen. But I think in a game like this, Kendricks is a huge loss because he's the one, because of all the eye candy and stuff you have up front with that offense and the motions. He's the guy who knows Denver's defense best. He's the guy who can get the young guys like Overshawn, like Maris lined up. And now you have Maris trying to do that, and you got to get the other guys lined up. It's going to be a struggle out there defensively, I think. And if Zimmer somehow can hold this offense down, we're going to give Zimmer a lot of love. If they keep them under 25 points, we got to give Zimmer a lot of love for what he's able to put together today when they're clearly look like a mass shooting on defense.
That's about what they're averaging now.
About to shut him down, Clarence. You get ready, buddy. About to shut him down. It's about to happen.
Be positive,
Power of
Clarence.
positive thinking, baby. Have a great day, Clarence.
You want to win,
you guys
pop, pop.
All right. There goes Clarence Hill. So, yeah, I think those are probably, to me, the 2 biggest stories going into this is what is that offensive line going to look like? And I tell you, if there was no such thing as players, like if football players were the way we treat them a lot of the time, where it's just like, oh no, that's my entertainment. Like they're not real people. They're just out there playing sports. If that were a thing and you could just do things in a fantasy world, I could actually draw up a way where it's like, look, the Lions bring one awesome pass rusher. And he plays on the edge. So let's just do the best we can to block that guy.
Yeah.
Even if it involves moving somebody and benching somebody. Let's just try to block that guy this week. And then next week, we'll talk about it. But because they're humans, like that can't be a lot of fun. And by the way, Joe Hoyt was in the chat and said it looked like Tyler Guyton was working at left and right tackle. Like he'll be just the swing tackle today is what that would sound like. He's backing up both. So that's just clearly being benched.
I mean,
like you're getting ready to serve a different role.
Wait, I mean, like, so, and here's my thing. Do you see that maybe he's having a hard time at left tackle? We've been talking about it, the confidence and the fact that he's getting broken down every week, same way, whatever. If moving him to left tackle or right tackle rather and having him be the swing, like, if they're doing it this early, are you happy with them doing it this early? Would you rather them do it this early as opposed to have him play this whole season struggling at left tackle? Because I don't know. Like, I'm just
like, okay,
I'm
so
trying
I'm
to
gonna,
ask. I'm sorry.
No, I get what you're saying because what's interesting is like I'm going to go cross sport on you guys for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Like in baseball, because you can draft a kid when he's 18 years old, that people will be very careful about not calling them up before they're ready because you don't want to ruin somebody who you think has a really, really big future. So it could just be like, look, you're really, really, really struggling. And so we're just going to keep working. Don't worry about it. You're not going to play in a football game. We're going to work at it and try to build that. But I don't know because we're human. I don't know. Like when they say, hey, we know you're healthy enough to go, suit up, get ready, but you're not playing.
I can
like that's probably not going to be great for your confidence.
I can guarantee you that this is affecting him. And I say that because when you listen to him in his interviews, when you listen to some of the little commentary he says, he's acknowledging that he sees people talking about him. Yeah. He sees the things that people feel like he needs to work on. And we know this about a lot of the players. Mm-hmm. But some guys can let it roll off their shoulder and then some cannot. And so I do feel like there probably are some feelings or things like that. But, you know, even Clarence just mentioned, because I asked you earlier this week, I asked the guys, you and all the guys, with this game feeling very important going into the bye, when we're talking about the shuffles and the lineups, I said, like, would you do this because this game is that important to you? Right. And it does feel like maybe this game is that important to them, no?
Yeah, I mean, I do, I guess. Yeah, I guess it is a desperation time because, like, the other thing that I think about this game is I think it's how you're playing with house money.
You think so?
The Cowboys, I think, to me, like the Cowboys can't hurt me today. If they lose by 13, I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's expected
because they have so many guys out.
Yeah, and if they win, it'll be like, holy cow, that's amazing. Yeah, they're not gonna hurt me today because I think it's hard. Like I love if you're optimistic about today's game and think that the Cowboys are going to thump the Lions. I think that's awesome, and I hope that they do. But I think it's hard for me to draw that conclusion when you say, okay, you're without your 4 best pass rushers, your middle linebacker, 2 of your top 4 corners, all of these different things, and you're facing, I think technically, if we're going to use like EPA as the number, like the 6th best offense, but whatever, a top 5 offense against your defense, which is just missing everybody. I can't draw up a scenario in my head where the defense goes out there and shuts them down, and I got to hang 30 today at least. Facts. In my mind. And so like it's house money. So if you were going into this game, I guess they can't think that way, right?
No,
they can't think that way. You're the coach of the team. It's like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna pull this off? And I'd be the coach, and they're like, guys, just do whatever. We're not supposed to win this.
Because you can only next man up so much. You can't, baby, that elevator only go up so far. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a 10th floor. And right now, you're there. You can't go. Like, not that many guys can be called up and make up for what you have going on, specifically on the defensive side of the ball.
And so it's a really fun opportunity, I guess. And to Jerry, for Jerry Jones, this year, don't let him fool you. The all-in stuff was a lie. They were as close to all-in as they get last year. Mm-hmm. Like when they restructured Michael Gallup's money and you knew that was a guy that I'm like, really? You want to move his money around when you might not want him anymore? Like they did that with everybody last year. This year, they're not all in. This year, they're all in on, look, if we lose people, we're going to see young people. We're going to figure out who can play. We're going to see what we can find for later. And so it's a really big opportunity. Leafau, Bass, Overshone, all like you're going to have a lot of guys that you get the opportunity to go out there and show something. And if it turns out that you've got more depth on this team than you thought, or that you can get really happy about some of these young players, then that'll be sweet.
Yeah, and specifically with Leafau, you drafted him to be your Mike of the future anyway. So you're going to get a little look at him. On the other side with Damone Clark, like a guy that hasn't played a lot of snaps, a guy that hasn't really been involved. This game is huge for him if he wants to continue to get time on the field, especially since we don't know the extent of Eric Kendricks' injury and how long he's going to be out. So, yeah, I mean, to your point, it is a big opportunity for these guys. AO is going to be back there in the secondary. I didn't think it was all bad last week from what I saw with him.
Not all bad.
No, absolutely not. So, tackles well as well. This Detroit offense is going to force these corners to have to come up and tackle on the edges. So, his physicality, Jordan Lewis's physicality, Trayvon.
Uh-oh.
We need you to come on with it. Yeah.
Well, he'll cover.
He'll cover. But I don't want them trying to pick on him on that side of the defense. So hopefully these guys come up and tackle today.
Please hit the like and subscribe button. Give me your predictions in the chat. And if you're just now joining us and hadn't already heard, Tyler Guyton is active for the game, but he ain't playing. It's going to be Tyler Smith at left tackle, TJ Bass at left guard, and they're going to try to do things a little different today. It's time for our game time look around the league. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. It's a lot harder to do a look around the league when you have a 325 game and you're trying to see if games go final. But I can tell you that the Ravens either are done kneeling it out or are kneeling it out. So the Washington Commanders are taking an L today. If you can get a W, you will be tied for first place in the NFC East. The Eagles did hang on to beat the Browns 20-16. The good news is the Eagles are bad.
All we needed them to do is just one thing.
Well, yeah.
But they're still bad.
Can I tell you this?
You can tell me.
Nick Sirianni shaved his head this week. Do y'all know what that means? Like, that's just somebody who doesn't have anything. And so they're doing a bit. Like my buddy Dave Hellman from Fox Sports texted me. He's like, that's what you do in high school baseball when you're in a slump.
What?
And that's what the head coach of the Eagles is doing to try to get things on track. He's shaving his head. Don't worry about the Eagles. They don't have a good quarterback, and their head coach is a mess.
They're going through something over there.
But they're 3-2. So, I mean, you know.
Same.
But no, the Commanders did take a loss, and you have an opportunity to be tied for first place. If the Cowboys can go in and do awesome things and find a way to beat the Lions, I will be a happy camper. Let's kick it over to you. Are you prepared for Aisha's 2-eye in the sky matchups to watch? Hell, it might have changed with some lineup things we just heard.
Interesting. So one of my key matchups for this game is, we saw Jake Ferguson. Ferguson's been quietly having good games. This last 2 games, I think we're starting to see him look more himself. We know he's dealing with somewhat of a knee injury. But what he did in that game, I think he had 87 yards, something like that. Just effective, efficient when you need him to be. He had a big grab on that last drive that extended the drive on 3rd down.
I need him to have 40 yards or more because of my sleeper.
You and sleeper.
Download sleeper. Get up in there.
Okay. But looking for him to take advantage of this this Lions linebacker core. They have Anzalone, they have Jack Campbell, and they have another gentleman that plays on the left side named his last name is Rodriguez.
Malcolm.
That's his name?
I think so. If
Malcolm
it's the same
Rodriguez.
one.
Listen.
I remember Oklahoma State.
I got a last name problem. I got to get out of my military stuff.
The fun part about us doing college tape, though, is you hear a name and you just remember a guy from 8 years ago.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I bet it's Malcolm.
But this linebacker core for the Lions does a lot. I mean, and hear me out. Anzalone's a good player. Jack Campbell, probably one of the better coverage linebackers to come out of that draft. They trust them people too much. They be having, there were plenty of times where I saw Anzalone lining up wide on a linebacker. Hey, McCarthy, how about you switch out Rico Dowdle for a Kevontae Turpin? If they want to play these games, run past them. Make them pay for trusting their linebackers that much in coverage. I think that the linebackers struggle with some suddenness over the middle of the field. So if you got a quick guy like a Kevontae Turpin, yes, take advantage of how they struggle in the middle of the field. Everywhere else, they're going to play the run well, all that stuff, but you can take advantage of them in coverage. I'm also, too, I said it last week, this is a Mike Zimmer game for me. I mean, we've been talking about
he got to be a hero.
Him does. And the way that he is going to be able to affect the quarterback early, I think they have to pressure on early downs, and have some packages even in playing the run. I really want to see maybe some safety blitzes off the edge, some quick corner blitzes, things like that to get in Jared Goff's face, because he will be resilient in some spots. But if you can rattle him early in a game, it sticks with him. He's not one of those guys that can just bounce back in that moment. So I'm looking for Mike Zimmer to find ways to manufacture pressure, predominantly from the secondary, because I don't think you can risk what they are able to do dumping the ball down to the flats with their running backs and them escaping. I want them to be able to get there quickly to the quarterback.
It's hard. I think that's to your point. If the Cowboys play good defense in this game, we're going to have so much good stuff to say about Zimmer afterwards. Because even as you're drawing it up, I'm like, okay, so pressure from the secondary. Oh, crap. Okay, so you're talking about the guys who would be back deep trying to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. But you can't leave the flats because Gibbs and Montgomery.
But even if you don't do that, what you also need to do is confuse the quarterback. Because the one thing about Jared Goff that I realized about this offense, very similar to the 49ers offense, is very much so timing, rhythm-based. It is when he's out that drop and that back foot hits the ground, he knows where he's going to go with the ball at that point. Make him think he's seeing something that maybe is not really there in real life. I'm looking for Mike Zimmer. We heard the secondary talk about how much he was going to be disguising coverages and stuff like that. Most of the Lions sacks, all 7 of them that I watched, there's only 2 times where it was actually pressure. The other ones, coverage sacks. We know the secondary can play some good football, but I'm looking for Mike Zimmer to try to find some favorable things, maybe confusing Jared Goff at the line of scrimmage.
It would be a big day for, just because you mentioned the secondary, and I don't know if you're going to have this in here, but you already had a little chat with Trayvon Diggs about being willing to tackle. Today would be a hell of a day to have a pick.
Yes.
Today would be a hell of a day for them to take a shot down the field on you and Trayvon Diggs make a play. They could change. I think Turpin, special teams. I think Diggs or Hooker, somebody force a turnover. You got to make some plays.
You do. Like I know Christy Scales did a breakdown on the other podcast I'm on about the lack of turnovers and points that the Cowboys have on turnovers to start this season. It was upwards of like 40-something points at this point last season. And that's just because DeRon Bland was just going nuts himself anyway. But
not back today.
To your point, you know that this offense is going to – the Cowboys offense is going to need to put up points against this team. The defense, it don't even got to be super duper pretty. But if you can take the ball away a couple times, let's just – go back into the future like it was with Dan Quinn. If you can turn the ball over a couple times and maybe bend don't break, then let this offense go score. My last matchup, and I pray to thee, is the Cowboys.
PTB2?
No.
That's that bitch 2 times?
I mean, we looking for that too. But it is the Cowboys defensive tackles versus this Detroit interior. Listen, every team that I watch have success against them, the Seahawks even so. They got some hams over there. But the Seahawks, the Bucks, those teams got good push from the interior. That changed the whole game for both of those teams. If these DTs can warrant double teams, you've already mentioned Aiden Hutchinson is their guy. He's their pass rusher.
That's the pass
The
rusher.
other guys outside of that, whereas they have some efficiency, they don't warrant double team ships and stuff like that like he can. But if your DTs can play stout and get penetration in the middle and also warrant a double team, it's going to open up things for your linebackers to play a lot more free and to be able to do some of the things that they want to do. So these defensive tackles, who is it again? What's that gentleman's name? Linval Joseph.
Oh, yeah, the big gentleman. Yeah, the big old guy.
Yeah, I beg of thee. Mozzie, I beg of you.
You know it's just got to be Osa.
Carlos Watkins. And Osa,
it's just gotta be Osa
being double teamed is a problem because he's the guy that you want being free. But they're double teaming him. 50% of the snaps last week, they double teamed him. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Your 3 tech should not be the person that they're like, you know what? We're not worried about you, big 300-pound human. We're worried about this human. A problem.
If you're double teaming 280 instead of 320, something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
And so I think that's the story of the game. The story of the game is going to be when Joe plagiarized our friend Joe Hoyt when he plagiarized Jerry Jones, and I didn't realize it when he said no names are going to have to become names. Like, that's it. Ao, I'll go back and learn I will get a pronunciation guide if you play well in this one, make some plays, and then I won't call you Ao. I probably still will because it's easier.
Some people know, like, I think he knows his name is difficult to pronounce, and he probably rather would just be called by his nickname.
Okay. I liked him at Penn State. See, draft stuff, you'll always remember. I always remember.
He got a disease.
I remember him at Penn State. He was a nice little prospect. But yeah, like, it's a lot of guys that either haven't had the opportunity or the league or the team or everybody thinks you're not good enough to play NFL football. A lot of those guys are going to have extended opportunities today. So TJ Bass, go be a baller.
Please.
Tyler Smith, go be a baller at tackle. Marist Liufau, huge opportunity with the number of snaps that you're probably going to play. Be more than a missile. He's a missile.
He is.
He's a missile.
Play under control, honey bun. Play under control.
Him and Overshown is going to be a lot of fun to watch because that is two
Cool
missiles.
For Cocoa Puffs. Tone setters. Maybe not the way you want to, but tone setters.
And that's the hard part. Is like, okay, what do you like most? God bless your heart and soul. God bless your heart and soul. You only got one more. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll only give you 3. Because I watch Overshown and Liufau, and the thing that jumps out about both of them is, boy, when they go, they are breaking people. But then it's like, oh, I might need you to slow down a little bit.
Please, set your feet, sir.
Slow down a little bit.
Stop overrunning plays. Set your feet.
So we got a big challenge. Everybody, give me your score predictions in the chat. Can the Cowboys pull it off? Because honestly, it will change not just how you feel today. It would change the way I view the rest of the season.
Facts.
I expect them to lose this game, be 3-3, go to the bye, likely lose again, and then we'll be talking about the rest of the season and how are you going to get into the wild card picture and try to be a postseason team. You go into the bye 4-2 off of a win against Detroit while undermanned. Well, then we're like, oh, and you're tied for the division.
Cooking with some gas.
And the team that you're tied with for the division, that team is usually a bunch of pathetic losers, and the quarterback's a rookie. Like, everything could change if they pull off what I don't think they can pull off today. But sign me up. I'm here for it. Feel free. Hit the like and subscribe. Jeff says 30-20 Lions and hopes for the opposite. Just to be clear, I want the team to win. No, 20's too low. No, 20's too low. 30-24. But I need more than that. I need more than that. Dak? CD? What? Oh, you got, what you want? Dak, let it fly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
PTB2. Here's the game. Here's the strategy. Defense, try your best.
Don't die.
I'm done. That's it. My talk to you, try your best.
Yes.
Offense, okay. We're going to block with 2 people on Aiden Hutchinson every play. Whichever side he lines up on, that's cool. Tight end motion's over. Running back shifts to that side. We're going to block you with 2. Not going to worry about the rest. We're going to snap the ball, pat that bitch 2 times, and throw it to 88, and sometimes to 87, and sometimes to, what's the number, 9?
9.
Sometimes to 9, sometimes to 1, but mostly to 88.
And the 40.
We're going to drop a 40 burger, and that is the path to victory. So we just need a 40 burger. 30 probably does it.
You picked against them?
I think the Lions are going to beat them. I think it's too much to overcome for the Cowboys' defense.
All right. I'm going on the other side. I'm going to do 31-26 Cowboys.
I like where your head's at.
Yes.
I take her pick, and that's the way that we're going to do it. We got 34-31 Dallas in the chat. Dak, 28 of 32, 370, 4 touchdowns, 31-19 Cowboys. I will take that so much. Division could be wide open all season. That's true because Philly's just weird. It's a good roster and a good team, but the head coach I don't think is any good. The quarterback I don't think is very good, and they're weird.
And the last 2 weeks, like, starting to see Washington is good. I think Jaden Daniels is a good player. They clearly have some good things going over there. Happy for Terry. That nickel defense is gonna creep up on these people. You're gonna see it real quick. It's happening. It happened today. Saw Mina bring it up, and it was like, oh, surprise! In there, know what that's like. Know what it's like not being able to stop the run.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Please hit the like and subscribe on your way out. Everybody strap in, strap on. your helmet, of course, and get ready for some Cowboys football. Going to beat them by 100, and then we'll be back here for the post-game show. So thank you for tuning in to the Cowboys DLLS pregame show. And remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, including the Cowboys defense. So be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
We all silly like the mayor.